Okay, chances are if you're watching this video, I've had a chat to you at some point about my workflow for taking notes for uni, especially distance education. I'm in my third year of my medical science degree, and it took me about 6 months of my first year to figure out this workflow, and I've stuck with it, and it's working really well for me. So I've thought I'd record a quick video to share with people what works for me, and maybe it'll work for you. So the biggest frustration I found at the beginning was my university would upload all of my lecture slides, but I wanted a really good way to keep all of my notes in one place and be able to make notes that were specific and referenced each slide. So that's very difficult to do in a PowerPoint presentation. If it is a PowerPoint file, adding in notes or tracking on things is quite fiddly. Also, if you're going to export it or have it as a PDF, annotating on PDFs is fiddly also. And that kind of puts it everywhere, and it's difficult to get everything together. So the way I started to do it was through Evernote. Evernote, if you haven't used it, is a note-taking application. You create folders if you want, so called notebooks. So here's my my list of 8 notebooks from year 1. And within that, you can see this one has 13 notes, 15 notes, 11 notes, etc. So at the moment in the third year, I've got advanced hematology and advanced clinical biochemistry. I've gone ahead and created a notebook for each one, and within that, a note for each week. So we've got all the way up to week 12. So these are your notes on the left, and you select through, and yeah, that's what you use. So that's what I use. So back to what I like to do is get my slides into this note, and then I'm able to type notes directly under each slide. So the way I do that is go to my Moodle page. Hopefully your lecturers upload the raw PowerPoint slides, not a PDF version or anything like that. If they don't, I find that a lot of my lecturers, if I request it and say, can you please upload the PowerPoints as well, they will do. I've only ever had one lecturer that refused for some strange reason. But as general, they will upload those. So you can go ahead and download the PowerPoint. And obviously this workflow works whether you're using a Mac or a PC. Evernote is able to be put on anything. So obviously the exact workflow is for a Mac, but I'm sure it can be adapted for a PC. So I've got this. I've got my downloaded lecture in M4V format, which you could stream it if you wanted to. I like to download in case I don't have internet when I want to watch it, if I'm going to watch it at work or something like that. So you can download your lecture, and then this is my PowerPoint file for week 2 hemolytic anemia part 1. So what I do is open that file in PowerPoint, and then you want to go to export, file export. It used to be in save as, depending on what version of PowerPoint you have, but in the latest and greatest on Mac, it's in the export file. So select export, and then file format. It's default as PDF, but if you change it to JPEG, that will save each slide as one image, and it will create a folder within where you are going to save it, which is default the folder that you had the PowerPoint. Each slide will be a separate image. So you do that export, and now we'll go over to the Finder, and there's my folder, Hemolytic Anemia Part 1. So in that folder, we have 17 slides. Each of them is just an image. So from there, I'll take my Evernote, and here's my slides. Select all, and then drag. And there they are. So now, I think I just dropped those into week 1 introduction. So I've dropped those into the wrong note. But either way, so say I didn't have any notes in here anyway. So week 2 in the title, hemolytic anemias. And now I've got all of my slides just sitting in here. So if you're watching your lecture and you want to take notes on this specific slide, I just click next to it and enter beneath. So as you review later on, you can just scroll through and see the exact notes that you've taken under each slide that references that specific slide, which come study time is going to, it's not everywhere, and you haven't scribbled notes down in a notebook and you're not sure what that referred to, or you don't have to rewrite out what was on the slide in order to reference it. That is pretty much it when it comes to Evernote. I make a note for each week. Even if there's multiple lectures from the same week, most of the time I'll put all of the slides just beneath each other, and then because normally it's all on the same topic. And the great thing about Evernote is you can search as well. So you can search the entire library or just that specific notebook. So if I'm searching within advanced hematology and I type anemia, it won't just find anemia in things I've typed, it will find anemia in the pictures. So you can actually find which notebooks have the word anemia in it and where. You can also, which I've done here, drag in the full PowerPoint presentation as well. And that uploads to the web, sits in the cloud. You can then access that later on a different computer or on a phone, anything like that. So sometimes I'll just drag the entire PowerPoint slide presentation into Evernote as well before actually going in and putting all of the pictures in and taking my notes underneath. And then probably the only other thing is if you've downloaded your lecture and you're going to open it in, VLC or QuickTime or even iTunes, anything you want, there's multiple ways. The simplest, if you're on a laptop and you've got no ability to have extra screens or anything like that, on a Mac is I just drag it and put it on top of Evernote. And then, although actually before I do that, I normally open it up into a full screen app like this. So it's just the note. And then I would take VLC. I'll just do that again. Take VLC, put that over the top of Evernote. And now I can hit play on this and scroll along with the exact slides as I go and take my notes as I need. The other way is if you drag it into iTunes, which I've done multiple times, and you have an Apple TV or something like that, what you can actually do is send the video to your TV and then have full screen notes. So this would be full screen. You can have that, no distractions, nothing else up there. You're able to look at the TV, look straight down to your computer and take your notes directly underneath. And obviously, if you're studying distance, the ability to hit pause, fast forward, rewind, even speed up the time and make it play back slightly faster than normal if your lecturer likes to drone on. Or pause and take a toilet break. It's really fantastic. And if you're not studying distance, or you have some subjects that you have the option to study on campus, I highly recommend, especially if you have a busy life, doing it from home. So that's pretty much it. I hope this has benefited you. I hope that this workflow, if it works for you, let me know. If it doesn't work, let me know. If you tweak it, let me know. Maybe there's something easier that I'm missing that works for you, and maybe that'll help me. But yeah, thanks for watching.